Welcome to Battle Truth and my point of view. Oh, no, you. So I'm not a hater. I could only give you the facts that's written on these papers. And since we have no dealings, therefore the court can care less about your feelings. I'm the Honorable MallikiBaker, your presiding judge, chairman, and spokesperson for the One United Front. You are my witnesses and jury. You may be seated. Court is now in session. Let's talk about it. Okay. So after Remy Ma went live to expose Papoose and calling him broke and being unemployed and not really having nothing, and Clarissa Shields is his new come up as a result of that, Papoose came back bombing away, basically letting it be known, how could you say some stuff like that when you know, like I know,
I wrote 90% of the music since I've been with her. And if you come around me and you type a keyword from any one of her verses, it pops up in my phone with the date that I wrote it. So all of this money talk on that aspect, that's cap. I wrote one of your biggest records, man. One of your biggest hits. So you want to downplay me as an artist when I wrote one of your biggest hits. That's so sad. I say it. Right now on my phone, and like I told you, I never wanted a penny. I never wanted one dime. All of the music I wrote for her, I never wanted one penny. I never put my name on a credit. I never did anything. When people said, we know Pat writing that. Oh, you want to go in here and say, oh, I was making music before him. You was. That's why when I started writing it, they saw the difference. Look at the comments. They know what I wrote. I wrote tons of her music. 90% of her music, I wrote it since I've been around her. I wrote probably like 3 songs on her first album. If I listen to it, I'll tell you exactly what I wrote. And when you listen to it, y'all know my pen.
Okay, so according to Papoose, how could you say such a claim against me? I wrote 90% of all your material, 90% of it, and I can prove it. If anybody was around me, it's still in my phone. I could type up one word to any song I wrote of yours and the whole song could come up on my phone. Why would you say something like that when I wrote 90% of your stuff? And not only that, I didn't even want credit for it. I didn't even ask you for a dime. Remy Ma responds to this, not on the live. Like, you know, she did 2 other lives. She did 2 other lives after Papoose came out exposing her first live she did that made him want to respond to her, basically saying this stuff about him. But she wanted to respond in a tweet, not in a live. And this is one of her messages she put up responding to Papoose claims. She says, he effing wish that he wrote my stuff. He trying to find a way to rightfully get money from me. That's why he hasn't signed the papers, because he wants money. I paid for everything, and I mean everything. Boy is literally with his current come up wearing my jewelry. His was probably in the pawn shop again. Notice she said currently come up, talking about Clarissa Shields. It's currently come up because he don't have nothing. And then she said he wearing her jewelry. Now, so notice her response. It's only in a text message. But everything else he was saying, she spoke about basically trying to clean up. She didn't go live and clean that part up. She didn't mention none of that on them live, did she, y'all? Not at all. Which actually had a few people concerned about this and asking questions. So Tony Yayo was on Vlad TV the other day. And Tony Yayo on Vlad TV was asked the question by Vlad. And this is what was said.
Papoose said that he wrote 90% of Remy Ma's lyrics.
Yo, listen, he said that. He say, she say. Like I said, it's all good. A relationship's all good till it's not good. Remember that. Because the back and forth, we don't know what's what and who's who. But if you write for your wife, are you going to take the publishing or no?
Good question. If you write for your wife, are you going to take the publishing or not? When Papoose made this statement right here, y'all. When Papoose made this statement right here, and he said this part right here.
I said it right now on my phone, and like I told you, I never wanted a penny. I never wanted one dime. All of the music I wrote for her, I never wanted one penny. I never put my name on a credit. I never did anything. When people said, we know Pat writing that. Oh, you want to go in here and say, oh, I was making music before him. You was. That's why when I started writing it, they saw the difference.
When he made that statement, I didn't want credit. I didn't put my name on no paper or nothing. We already know the type of man Papoose is. That's not his style. He loved his wife. That is his family. This wasn't his baby mama and girlfriend at the time. This is his wife. This is his wife. And in his heart, he believed they're going to always be together. That's what he said. That man ain't looking at it like, okay, give me my part, give me mine, yours is there, make sure you give me my credit. No, we share everything together. We share a house together. We got a family together. We share accounts. So no, he's not looking at it like that. So of course, he not looking to get credit and recognition for his wife is the one shining. And when you see how the hip hop world is right now, it's dominated by men. It has been dominated by men for a long time. Only a few women been able to break that mold. And when you break that mold, you stand out as a woman because it's dominated by men. That's why you see the Nicki Minaj and Cardi B's, Megan Thee Stallion, Sexy Red, and even Remy to some degree. They beautiful, you know what I mean? And if you got the right sound behind you, you able to break that mold, you're going to stand out because, again, the game is dominated by men. So when that happens, it happens like that. So when let's just keep it real. Papoose ain't no slouch when it comes to rapping. He actually rap way better than his wife, but he's a guy. That's not really looked at as being something in hip hop because it's dominated by guys. But when a woman can hold the flow and do her thing and looking good and strutting her stuff with it, that's different. That's different. And he knew that and understood that. That's why he didn't mind putting that good pen behind his wife. I'm going to get on another subject about something, but let's get back to this. Because Remy trying to say he didn't write nothing. Where this come in play to know is when we dealing with credibility. Credibility is what matters here. Who's more credible? Remy or Papoose? Who's more credible? We seeing both their characters flow out on the internet. Who seems to be more intact? Who seemed to be more believable? Who seemed to be more stand up and put together? Who seemed to be more well-mannered? Who seemed to be the one that's actually more loving, more giving, more truthful? It's Papoose. And why would he lie about something like this? We know in our common sense tell us this man was, look, even if you don't want to believe he wrote 90% of her stuff, there is no way you're going to say that that man didn't write none of her stuff when he could rap better than her. And he's a rapper also along with her. And they married. So, of course, you're going to assist your woman. When that man made that statement saying that he didn't sign no paperwork or nothing like that, and, you know, I know he's speaking from a husband. Even though we know that, hey, business is one thing, but this is another thing. Not when you're talking about a marriage of a person who really believe, you know, this gonna be my wife forever. You don't look at that like that. Now, with that being said, remember, I could sympathize with him in a lot of ways because I remember this sort of thing happened to me. I remember when I was dealing with my baby mama, man, because she could rap real good. I have yet to find a woman to this day who could rap better than this girl, okay? Lyrically wise, she was a killer. And people really thought I wrote for her because everybody know I'm a killer. But people used to think I wrote for her because she was just that damn good. And I couldn't convince them that I wasn't writing for her. They was like, man, get out of here. You wrote that. I'm like, no, I didn't. She writes like this. I may have been the motivation and force behind her that pushed her pen to be that good because she had to present it before me and knew how critical I am. So she didn't want to disappoint. So she gave it her all. Plus, she was madly in love with me also. In so much that when I was doing everybody contracts, when I came to her to give her her contract, she skipped all the pages and went to the dotted line and just signed. I had to tell her, like, hey, you're not going to read that and overlook that or give it to somebody to, make sure you ain't being cheated or scammed in any type of way. She told me no. I said, this business. She said, I don't care. She said, get out of my face. Lovingly. I was like, you serious? She like, yeah, I'm serious. I signed it. I don't have to read it. Get out of my face. That's what she said to me. But she wanted me to know that she loved me and had and she believed I had her best interest and that I wouldn't play her like that because she knew the manner of man that I was. She trusted me and seeing how I went about my business and affairs and how I handled others, that she knew that I'm with him. This my man. And we got a baby together. I don't have to read what he do because I know he's good to people. She didn't read none of the fine prints of the contract. She just signed it because she loved me. So when Papoose say that, I concur with what he's saying because I know I experienced something like this. And I know when you're in a marriage and it's real like that, you're leading by example. You're leading by example. And that's saying a lot to his wife to know that she knows she can fully trust him because he's putting her in a position to win and she's getting all the credit for it. Now, you would figure she was a stand-up, honorable woman. Now, that also shows something about her character. Even though he wasn't expecting nothing, even though he didn't want nothing, it also should have showed her character. That she should have took the initiative, knowing that he didn't want nothing, knowing that he didn't ask for nothing, to just put him on there anyway. Just showing her appreciation and gratitude. She didn't do that, though. See what I mean? One thing showed his character, one thing showed hers. It comes down to credibility. That's what it comes down to. Who is more credible?
Yo, Papoose dropped 40 on her. He was online for 2 hours spilling the beans. He called her lesbian. He basically said he wrote Sheether, which is the supposedly the winning diss song in the battle with Nicki Minaj, which, by the way, here's the thing. And this is going to get nasty. If Remy Ma, which a lot of people believe she won the battle versus Nicki Minaj, if she won the battle because of the song Sheether, but it was written by Papoose, that's a disqualification. I'm sorry. Nicki Minaj now officially has 0 losses unless you want to consider, and I don't know what you consider the winner or loss between her and Meg Thee Stallion. But we have to wipe that off Nicki's record. We got to be honest, chat. We can't give Nicki a loss if the husband, who's the nigga did like the 5 fingers of death, like the alphabet slaughter, like this nigga Papoose been rhyming words for a living. So if he's writing his wife's raps, which I never knew, we always looked at Remy Ma as one of the hardest. I never thought Remy Ma had, but I mean, is that fair game though, chat? If your husband is also a great rapper and he wrote you some raps, is that ghostwritten or that's like, nigga, that's what the family said? I don't know.
Okay. That's out of the mouth of DJ Academic now. So again, There's no doubt in my mind. Papoose did help. I don't know how much now. I may not know how much of it he wrote, but he definitely wrote for his wife. Who wouldn't? That's your wife. What wife is going to deny it when you know your husband just that fire? Like I said, go back to my situation. Now, I didn't have to write for my baby mama because she was just that cold. That when I give her an assignment, I just give her the concept of what a song is, what's going on. But I have wrote hooks for her and everything, and she actually would say my hooks. You get what I mean? And even though I wrote that, you get what I mean? But I don't see how this is any different in some type of way when you're dealing with a husband and a wife. And we know how much he loved his wife.
I do it big for the queen. Yo, I take a swig for the queen. Yeah, that's how I live for the queen.
You know what I mean? That man love his wife, man. That man crazy about his wife. We're not going to play that. That man crazy about his wife. Okay? Credibility matters a lot here. Credibility matters a lot. Of course, Remy, you know that man wrote. You know that man wrote a lot of your music. That man ain't just saying that. Look, credibility, again, means a lot. That man is way more credible than you. That man wouldn't be saying something like that. But then again, it shows your heart. It just shows just how dirty, corrupted, deceiving, and evil you are. Because you know what this man did. You know what he's responsible for. And you ain't even real enough to actually even give him that much. Not even under the table. You didn't even have to do it public to actually do away with the naysayers. You didn't even have to do it public. Okay, I get that. But you're not even doing it behind the scenes. You're not even doing it behind the scenes. Like that's terrible. That's so dishonorable, but that go to show you how greedy and selfish you are as a woman. Like I told you, see, a lot of these people was uneducated to life. They uneducated when it comes to the things of God. Look what's going on here, though, that I just want to bring to the forefront. When you do these things, you're not just doing it to him. You're doing it to your child who you claiming to love. You ask a person you love, yeah, I love my kids. I love my kids. I'll die for my kids. How you love them and you mistreating them and you hurting them. You lying on her daddy. You shaming him. You attempting to shame him before the people. You sitting up here robbing him. You're not giving him his just due, but you want to call him broke. He ain't got nothing. And you want to brag about, oh, I got this house. I got this jewelry. I still got royalties. I still got all this. I got these investments. Yeah, that you taking royalties and getting them from off 90% of the writings he been doing. And you taking monies, getting royalties off of his labor. And you ain't even breaking bread with the man. You ain't even breaking bread with the man. Here, take it. Take it. Bang the gavel on your damn self. Don't worry. I'm going to do it for you. No. Girl, get out of here with that trash, man. That is terrible. And you're not fooling nobody. Nobody believes you. Nobody believes you. You're not credible. Okay? That man ain't making no statement like that just to be making a statement. And we know that you provoked that man to wrath. You made that man come public out to actually clear up the lies you were saying about him. You on record even admitting that because you allowed your emotions and jealousy to get the best of you. Because you can't stand to see him doing better, being happy as a result of you trying to destroy him and you attempting to destroy him. So you figure you would do some type of collateral damage by tearing at his image, but it didn't help you. It actually backfired against you and made you look bad. And you continue to show just how much of a bad wife and mother you are. Because again, when you're doing it to your child's father, you're doing it to her too. You're doing it to her too. And you're doing it to yourself too. Whatever bad you say about him, you saying it against yourself. Because that was your husband. You were with him for 20 years. You were with him for 20 years. I'm sorry. Give that man his credit. That man wrote a lot of that music, man. You ain't fooling nobody. We not stupid. So with no further ado, all the evidence is in and judgment will go as follows. We, the Battle Truth headquarters and One United Front in the court of public opinion, we find you guilty. We find you guilty of not giving Papoose his just due. So we are hereby ordering you to transfer over all monies rightfully deserving of him, past and present, up to date. We are restructuring the publishing rights of those songs that he wrote and hereby establishing his name to also be a co-writer or owner of the material. We are also ordering you to also pay a fine of damages that's owed this man that you did pertaining to trying to strike against his credibility and going public online to literally tear this man down when he was not guilty of any of the things by which you are claiming against him. That is my judgment, and it is your boy Battle Truth. It ain't my judgment that's in question. It's yours.
Wasn't no streets for you, so leave me waiting on you. Wasn't no streets for you, so leave me waiting on you. Wasn't no streets for you.